Good morning. I'm out here with a cup of tea and ready to start painting the tailstock on this 1941 Axelson engine lathe, and I thought you might like to come along, or maybe I'm a little lonely and wanted to drag you along. So anyway, I'm glad you're here, and I'll have a little sip here. I'll start painting. And I'll tell you, I was looking at this thing and I go, well, where do you start? I guess I'll start at the top. I'll remove the genuine Axelson wrench. I'm going to leave it unpainted. And we'll start. Oh, I wanted to point out, right here is a ball oiler. And it was painted over so perfectly you couldn't tell. And it had been painted over for years and years. And nobody knew it was there. And you couldn't properly lube the gears in its gear case because of that. So what happened, the owners of this would pull this cover off and lube everything with lubriplate grease, which is a good grease to use if you're going to lube something once and leave it. But I think that saved everything. But I go, well, what's with this? So I did a video where I drilled this this outer cover here for these plugs here. There's a level plug and a drain plug. And I go, well, I'm just going to fill that case full of oil. And it's full of oil and it's just fine. But I really didn't need to do that if I had known about this ball oiler. So I don't know, sometimes going over a lathe inch by inch is a good idea. And I did, inch by inch. And I found a couple more of these ball oilers too. On other places, like on the back of the carriage. So let's start getting some paint on there. You can't talk it on. You can try. Oh yeah, it's flowing. I don't want to bury that ball oiler though. Oh, that's just wonderful. We're going to have ideal weather for the next few days, so I'm going to, really get busy with this paint. And I should have this done in a few days too. And that'll be great. Well, all that really runs there. A lot of nooks and crannies here. Little sponge brush seems to get in it pretty good. I'm going to get over here a little bit and try to ease that on there. Yeah. Well, I hope you're all doing good. Feeling good. Yeah. These are exciting times for old machines. I'm seeing a lot of old machines out there. Oop. I'm not kidding you. Somehow the paint looks a lot better on camera than in real person. But after I get the second coat on, it looks real good too. But the first coat looks really mottled, except on camera. It looks like it's better than it actually is. Just kind of get this stuff around. Oh, I got a big old trip there I gotta take care of, but that's okay. Yeah, getting this first coat on is definitely the hardest, I think. One of the things I got lucky on this machine is they didn't use the tailstock very much. and it's level and lined up. And there's a little reference still here. I just put some paint on, and it's a couple of machine surfaces, and you can kind of quickly set the lateral shift by making those points even on the upper and lower. And I'll tell you what, they're even. And I checked the alignment, so I got a nearly a perfect tailstock. They this was with the Burt company that made specialty drills, and they made a weird radial drill that folds out. I think it was also called a Hammond radial. But you can tell that they cut tapers with the machine. They use the taper attachment, and they use the top slide. And the cross slide they didn't use very much. Yeah, I would expect they cut a lot of tapers. Being a drill manufacturer, just get as much on here as I can. I guess that's why I'm painting the tailstock in place, because it doesn't need anything, doesn't need any work at all. So that's pretty cool. There's so many nooks and crannies. I think I chose the right size. Now with this, these small sponge brushes, I put one finger behind it, and that gives it some stiffness. You can get into pockets like down here and just, you know, smear that paint through there. See that? I got it backed here with my finger. They get the paint on pretty rapidly. That's your rapid fire hillbilly paint job. There's kind of a casting flaw right here. They had that black filler in. I'll put some Bondo there. Yeah. There's I noticed a problem with that black filler that they used to use. Water goes through it, and metal rust underneath of it. And I removed that black filler totally off both these machines. There's like no black filler. Well, very, very little. Paint around those plugs that I put in for the oil bath. I don't think that was a bad thing to do. It works noticeably better. Got the guy next door there. Got a weed eater out there. Yeah, how's that looking? These things get kind of wimpy and limpy. Let's get some on here. You know, you think you got all the paint chips until you start putting paint on. You go, how did I miss that? How did the wire brush miss it? You know? Totally amazing. How we doing here? I'm gonna look. Yeah, doing good. I gotta look through the camera and see how it's looking. I see progress through the camera. All right. Yeah, that's looking okay. Here's the paint dauber I freehanded in a video. Yeah, just go ahead and paint across the top there. I might polish that off later. I'm going to keep it from rusting now. Yeah, looking pretty good. Get these challenging areas. Yeah. Now this is the smallest Axelson lathe they ever made. 14 by 30 inch. And this one's 5 horsepower. And later on, they offered this model with up to 15 horsepower, 3 times the power. But over the years, over 80 years, this having only 5 horsepower kind of limited how much could be done with it, because I can stall a machine. You can stall it. Of course you can't a 5 horsepower machine. You start getting around 7.5 horsepower, machines get harder to stall. But 5 horsepower is a lot of power. They say that's just enough power to kill you. So you got to watch out with geared head lathes. Yes, you do. There's no belt to slip on these. Okay. I think I showed that chunk missing out of the top slide. Or, yeah. That's going to be okay. I got to right up in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Now, the one caution that I've heard about an Axelson lathe is the clutch. It's not easy to get to. As a matter of fact, if you search the internet, you can find some hobbyist guy on a hobby website was having a terrible time, then quit posting about it, and I hope somebody was able to help him. But to get the clutch out, from what I understand, requires you to make some special tools, and it's going to take you some time. But all machines have their strong points and weak points. But in my experience with geared head lathes, I think the Axelson is absolutely, hands down, the toughest built machine I've ever seen. I don't think there's anything that can really compare to this. Some machines come close, but I don't know. Some of the Americans. But okay, well, I got to change brushes, and I think that's a pretty good start. And I'm going to load this, and I'll do some overall. This pretty much have paint on everything, and I'll come back and show you that. Okay, bye for now.